imagine you calling your husband your daddy. You know, if it works for you, like, I'm not judging you. I just felt like, I didn't know. I thought I would just have to lie down there. I didn't know that I had to, participate. I thought you have to. In short, let me tell you the truth. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Victoria Ayodele Fash. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. I think within the last video and now, I had over 500 new subscribers. And I kept having comments like, oh, it's my first time seeing your video. I'm like, where have you guys been? Okay, I've been on this channel. I've been talking about things on this channel. But anyways, thank you so much for being here. I thoroughly enjoyed the engagement in the last video. It was so good reading from you guys, your experiences. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for telling me how much the video meant to you, particularly for those who are about to get married. I'm talking about people who are waiting, abstaining, or about to get married and having sex for the first time. Those are the people I live for. Okay, I have an entire playlist on this channel, about sex, about first time having sex for men, for women, things you should know, things you shouldn't do, and all of that. So please make sure that you also catch up on those if you are about to get married. Now, in the last video, number of you had a problem with my delivery. I would advise you to go and watch my other videos about sex. There's a certain way I love to deliver this kind of topics, just to create some kind of excitement and engagement around it. It's not because I'm shy. It's not because of anything. It's just the way I love to deliver the message. If it doesn't suit you, I understand. I will try to make it profesh on this particular one, but I'm not going to make any promises, okay? Anyways, a number of you actually enjoyed the way I delivered it, so I'm like, I can't please everybody, okay? Anyways, so in today's video, we'll be continuing with some of the points that I could not share in the last video that I got to realize, and from some of your comments, right? So let us get into today's video. Now, one of the other things that I thought about sex, particularly, remember again, I said missionary was my mission in marriage. Like I was waiting. I always thought that was like the main style. Every other style is secondary, but that one has to be done, right? But one other thing that I did not realize about missionary is that as the woman, you don't just lie there. Because I'm telling you, before I got married, all my thought about sex was that the man does all the job. As the woman, of course, foreplay, we kiss each other, and all of that. But when it comes to the act itself, I don't have to do anything, right? He does all the job, particularly if you're in the position of missionary. So, excuse me, when I got into it, and the person that was, that we're doing it together was telling me that, oh no, you have to move your waist. I'm like, move my waist, how? I think that in most of the movies and most of the novels that we have read, the woman is always a passive participant when it comes to, intercourse. She's more or less like at the receiving end of all the love and all the giving, and she just enjoys it. But really, even in the missionary position, if you as a woman, you want to enjoy, you have to make sure that there's actually a rhythm. One thing I've come to realize is that sex is actually a dance. It is you and your partner like dancing, moving your bodies around. So if only one person is doing all the work, you want to kill him. You want to kill him. And also, it also stifles your enjoyment of the act, right? So that one, I will not lie to you, came as a surprise that, oh, so I have to like move. It was a lot of learning process. But what I just want you to get out of it is sex it's a dance between you and your partner. So whatever position you are, it's not the man that does all the job. A woman is not a passive participant in intimacy. Both of you have to participate to give pleasure to the two of you, right? So that one, that one was shocking to me because, again, all my life, I've always thought the man does all the work and the woman receives it, but they both have pleasure. But to be honest, even not just in missionary, in any other position that you guys decide to do, you as the woman also have to make sure that you have a kind of movement to make sure that there's pleasure for you and for him. I'll be having a masterclass very soon on intimacy for newlyweds, those that are about to get married. When it's up, I'm going to leave the link in the description box. I'm actually going to leave it in this video. If you're interested, just register and then I'll reach out to you. Then we can go into much details. But in this one, we're just giving surface information. But yeah, that one, I'm like, I didn't know. I thought I would just have to lie down there. I didn't know that I had to, participate. I thought you have to. In short, let me tell you the truth. I actually thought my husband did not. We which is weird because of the two of us, he was the one that was experienced. But in my mind, I felt like, he didn't have stamina because why do you need me to, like, until I started to read literatures, I'm like, oh, wow. I didn't know nothing. Okay. Anyway, so now the second point that I feel like this one, I don't know where it came from. I think it also came from some of the videos that I watched in terms of people talking about sex, not Christian wise now, from, the worldly videos that I watched about, people talking about sex generally. And also maybe some of the movies that I watch or whatever is when it comes to dirty talking during intimacy. Now, maybe this works for you guys. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. Does it work for you guys? Because I just got married. It was weird for me because first of all, I was inexperienced, okay? But all I knew was, I was watching a lot of videos at the time, wrong videos to be fair, about, what to expect and what to do to make your partner excited. And one of the things that, I heard was, when you dirty talk during the act, it makes the act sweet for the both of you. You enjoy it and, and all of that. But first of all, dirty talking is very awkward. And when you are trying, particularly as a Christian, a person who is a believer, when you try to dirty talk with your husband or your wife, the truth is it takes your concentration out of the act and you get in your head. Well, it happened to me. Like, is this okay? Like, I hope he doesn't think I'm... I hope he would not be asking, when did I hear this? You get, he would not be thinking I'm too wild now. Trust me, the guy doesn't care, right? But for me, what I realize is the more I talk or I try to talk during the act, the less I am enjoying it because I'm trying so hard to get the right words. My mind is not in the act. And then it just makes the whole thing really difficult, right? However, like I said, dirty talking is subjective. There are times that it works, right? Again, like... join the masterclass. I can't say everything right here because, I'm not comfortable saying all of it right here. But one of the things I've come to realize that I realized is dirty talking actually distracts me. It makes me less focused on the act and on us and makes me more focused on my head. Am I saying the right words? Is the word I used okay? Why did I say that? I shouldn't have said that. No, I should, and then you just lose the connection that, is supposed to happen between the two of you. But let me be clear that, if the two of you are in the rhythm and you're talking about, certain things that he's doing and you're like, I like that, don't stop doing that or stuff like that, that is not dirty talking. That is communicating, that's connecting, right? And then he'll be like, anyway, before I start to act what is not supposed to be acted here, right? Yeah, so as long as you're talking about, what you guys are doing together, how it's making you feel, what you're enjoying, no, don't go that way, go this way, stuff like that, that is fine. But when you start to do, hit your mother, I don't know. I'm telling you, I actually watched this from from podcast. I listened to this from podcast of people talking about they talk. I don't know why I watched so much of that. But you see, when you are inexperienced and you get into marriage, you are so in on your head. You want to make sure that everything goes perfectly, that you start to consume things that are not nice, right? So I remember I was listening to this podcast and people were talking about certain things they say during, yes, daddy, kid. For me, I just feel like I did try, I will not lie, let's be honest, we listen, we don't judge. I did try to do stuff like that, but imagine you calling your husband your daddy, if it works for you, like, I'm not judging you. I just felt like it was just too much for me intellectually. I am a very, if you know me, I'm a sapiosexual, right? I've talked about it on this channel before. Intellect is what stimulates me. So when I'm saying something that intellectually is not sounding right to me, it just interrupts the whole thing. And once that happens, it's over. Okay, it's over. I'm not enjoying the act again and all of that. So I feel like instead of dirty talking about how your partner is making you feel, what you're enjoying, those ones are nice. But I just feel like when you're talking, trying to get the right words, trying to get what, it just takes out the whole fun in it. And it just makes you then, it's like you're performing. You're not supposed to perform during intimacy. You're supposed to enjoy each other. But that's what I think. Let me know. Does it work for you guys? Or maybe I'm too much of a prude. Or is that what they call it? Yeah. Let me know if it works for you guys, right? Now, the next thing that I'm going to talk about is I wanted to say something before I move to the next point. It's also the fact that at a point before marriage, I thought sex was just a physical thing. Like, oh, when he touches you, your body will just respond automatically. I did not realize, it was later in marriage that I realized that when it comes to intimacy, it's not just physical. You know what is weird is, it's even in your Bible. The Bible says that sex, in the book of, I think, Deuteronomy, it says that sex is not just a physical act. In short, the version I love the most, I forgot it, I think it's NIV, that says that sex is not just about skin to skin. It is as much a spiritual reality as it is a physical act, right? So apart from the spiritual reality, right, which sex very much is, yeah, I always say that the closest sex is the intimacy that happens between you and your partner during intimacy is the best way to describe the kind of intimacy that you should have with God. Please don't be weird. Don't be weird about it, right? But that intimacy, that closeness that you should have, that you have with your partner, because what sex binds you with your partner, it binds you guys together. That's why you see people who, they are in abusive relationship, they are in relationships that does not make sense, that you'll be like, are you not seeing, are you okay, right? But they're unable to leave. Why? Because there's intimacy in it. There's a way that intimacy ties you to the other person that makes you to lose concentration. You almost lose your sense, right? That is the kind of intimacy that we're supposed to have with God. The intimacy that trusts him, that even when he disappoints you, so to speak, or he doesn't meet your need, you still run back to him, right? That is the kind of intimacy. And the only other thing that makes a person crazy like that when it comes to intimacy is sex, right? I hope that makes sense. Anyways, we deviate. What was I saying? Yeah. It was later during marriage that I realized that sex is not just physical. It is not just, the moment both of your organs connect, then your body will start to respond. That's actually a lie. And that is what I truly believed when I got married. I thought, the body knows what to do. I came to realize that intimacy demands your full attention. It demands your attention mentally. You have to be in a good place, because once you are thinking about something else, the connection is lost. And once you lost that connection, you have to then work hard to be able to get yourself back there. And that is where activating your mind works, right? Because they only tell us in movies that, the moment he caressed her, everything just went. But it doesn't happen that way. That's why, first of all, you have to be attracted. Attraction matters a lot, when it comes to intimacy. That's why I always say that attraction is not the most important thing when it comes to choosing your life partner, but it is a very, very important factor. You need to make sure that whoever that you're getting married to, there is, sexual attraction between the two of you, right? That's why that is important, because there has to be that. You have to find that person physically attractive, for your body to respond. But even during the act, it is easy for you to, even whilst the act is going on, it is easy for you to disconnect and you realize that you're not even feeling anything. Why? Because your mind has wandered. Your mind is not in it, right? And one other thing that I've come to realize is that your imagination has to be active during intimacy. Now, when I'm talking about imagination, you need to be careful, okay? It's not like you start to imagine somebody else, something else, and start to think of things you have watched. No. Sometimes you are in your bedroom, but you're imagining yourself on the beach, which, to be fair, I wouldn't do it on the beach. I wouldn't do it in the pool. But the thought of it is exciting and all of that. Those are the things that I did not know. Those are the things they don't say during intimacy. They just tell you, your body just responds. But it's not always true. Sometimes you need to activate your imagination during the act. Sometimes you even say it out, for the two of you to go there together and enjoy the journey together whilst you are on your bed, right? But they don't tell you. They only tell you it's just physical. But to be honest, your mental faculty has to be present. Your mind has to be present. Your emotions there has to be a connection between the two of you. And then you have to also activate your imagination. But those are the things that they don't tell you. They just tell you, your body will know. But to be honest, you have to help your body, because your body is their nerves that are connected to your brain that activates, the oxytocin and all of that. So you have to make sure that everything is there. You are present in it with your partner. You're both together. You're both, your mind and everything. It's not just a physical act. It's not just about going in and out. No, it's about connecting. So I didn't know that. I didn't. Oh my God. My first few months of having intimacy was miserable. I used to run away. Ask my husband. Don't ask him. But I used to run away because it felt like such work. Because I did not understand a number of things. So it took me research, and it took me, even the help of the Holy Spirit to begin to realize that, okay, there are certain things that we have discussed during our courtship, that excites me when I think about. So during the act, we think about those things together. Sometimes you're in your room, but you're imagining yourself in the hotel. It excites. It's exciting. Those are the things that make sex exciting, right? But how is it like for you people? Where is only physical? Where I'm the sport child? Who knows, right? Now the other thing that they tell you about, this one is in novels, is like, oh, during the act, you just look into each other's eyes. I don't think that works for everybody. I don't think that works for everybody, because particularly after like first 2 years of marriage, I don't want to look into your eyes. I mean, sometimes we connect, you look into each other's eyes and everything, but I just feel like there are certain expressions that people make during intimacy, and maybe again, this might not work for you. So for some people, that looking into each other, staring into your eyes might work. But for a number of people, and this is one of the things that I got into marriage thinking that, oh, during the act, we stare into each other's eyes. Do you know how awkward it gets? Particularly if you're new to the act, right? And, you're a novice. There's a lot of awkwardness happening, right? So looking into each other's eyes, I tried it and I realized that I was so focused on his expression. Is he liking it? Does that mean he's enjoying it? Wait, is he? And I've disconnected. Again, I was in my head. Now, it could be a me problem. Maybe it doesn't happen to you guys. But I just feel like I read a lot in novels like, oh, you stare into each other's eyes during the act. When I'm looking into your eyes, I'm looking at, is he liking it? Is he okay? Should I move like, oh, if I do like this, will it make him? I'm not focused on him, right? I'm not having the pleasure because I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know. For me, I just feel like looking into each other's eyes is very distracting. Also, during intimacy, there are some weird expressions that people make, like really weird expressions, particularly if, it's, yeah. I just feel like if I see that expression in his face normally, it might scare me. So, yeah, and there's some expression that I give, I'm sure that, I don't want him to see during intimacy. And sometimes we get to that. Yeah, so I've come to realize that staring into each other's eyes, there are certain times when it works. And that's usually when, you are both into it. When you're both into it and you stare into each other's eyes, there's this intensity that happens. When you're just starting, why are you looking at me? Like, can we just, get the rhythm and let me hear you? We get to hearing. Yeah, let me even go to hearing. Now, the next thing I realize is hearing is more important than seeing. Well, I think for the woman's perspective. I think for the man, it's both. Because from the women I've spoken to in my research and all of that, most men like to see what is happening. And this is, I did an academic research on this. I'm not capping, okay? Most men like to see what is happening as much as hear how it's making you feel. But most women love to hear that the man is enjoying it. They want to hear you. Now, I didn't know about hearing. Oh, God. After, the first few times, it was painful. I've shared my experiences here. It was later my husband told me that, why am I quiet during intimacy? That it makes him feel like he's not doing something right. I'm like, no, you are. I'm enjoying that, but it doesn't, it's not like I'm mute, but I'm making the sound in my head. I don't say it out. And apparently I realized that affects your partner. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that I needed to, make sure that what I'm saying in my head, the sounds I'm making in my head, I'm also saying it out for him. And I realized that when he says his own out, or I feel him in his voice that he says those things out, it makes me excited too, because it feels like, I'm doing the right thing. He's doing the right thing. Oh, he's enjoying this. I'm enjoying this and all of that. I didn't know that you needed to, make those noises. I just felt like, he knows, he should know that I'm enjoying it. But apparently, I realized that, and when you are both making the right music, talk about dance, when you're both producing the right music, it helps the two of you. I don't know why, but if it's making the right sound, it just makes you feel so good. It makes you feel sexy. Yeah, that's the word. Because it feels like, yes, I know how to satisfy my husband. And, it's the same way with him too. So don't be quiet. I know sometimes, I think, particularly in my first year of marriage, I was in a lot of pain. and all of that during intimacy, especially when we're just starting. When we get into the rhythm, it gets better. But, you know, those period also, just make sure that the sound coming out of your mouth is out of pleasure, right? Of course, if you're in pain, you should let each other know and all of that. But I'm just saying that don't be mute. Sound is as important as sight. For men, most of them, they like to see. They like, I don't know why. They like to see, and this is from research I've made with, you know, other women. They tell you the husband wants to see what is happening right there. They want to, they want to see the merchandise. But for most women particularly, they just want to be in their head. They want to enjoy it. So you guys have to find a middle ground, right? So maybe getting dim lights, you know, getting, things that would make sure that the two of you are comfortable, right? Right. So the next thing, I think I've talked about imagination. I've talked about sex is not just of the body, it's of the mind. And this other misconception that this one, funny enough, it's not from, you know, my experience. It's from experiences of other people that I spoke to when I was doing my first series on sex. Was, you know, people always say the bigger the better. What I don't tell you, particularly if it's your first time, right? It's what if you if there's no skill, the instrument is useless, right? If you are not skilled at certain things, you know, the instrument is useless, right? So I don't know. I don't know how to get this point through, but in case you are getting into marriage with the mindset that, oh, if you finally see it and it's not as huge as you're expecting, it means you would enjoy it. If you're not enjoying it, it's because you're in your head. It's not about the size. It's about how can you use it? Can you use it properly? Right? So I think that that's also a very big misconception, particularly that I had about it. I think I did an entire video on it on this channel somewhere. It's somewhere on this channel, right? Yeah. So another thing that I got to realize is that your physical well-being has a lot to do. Something came to my head just now about, okay, your physical well-being, right? It has a great impact on your sexual well-being. Very much so. And it's not just about, oh, you are slim. Because when I got married, I was like this. Now I've increased. Oh God, because they didn't tell me too that when you start collecting, you start to add weights. They didn't say. Well, my husband told me, but I didn't believe it because I'm like, collection actually makes you add weights. So let's leave it. Let's pin it there. Let's just pin it there. What I was saying was that, what was I even saying? Your physical well-being and your physical well-being and your sexual well-being, they are intertwined, right? If you don't take care of your physical health, your sexual health will be terrible. Your sexual life will be terrible, right? And and I'm telling you, there's something that exercise does. I don't know how that happens, but I'm going to tell you now. There's something, if you're having issues when it comes to, you know, lasting longer, or you just feel like you don't have a good sex drive and everything, start going to the gym, start lifting weights, start moving your body. I'm telling you, there's something that I don't know what it is, that just every time I'm running, I go running, or I stay on the bicycle, or I know that I'm doing exercise. Those periods is just like, you just want it. There's a reason why when women start losing weight, they get pregnant. I've dropped a gem there. There's a reason why that happens. It's not just because of how they look. There's something about when you're active physically that makes your sexual hormones to be on a high alert. To be on high alert. Speak good grammar here. Yeah, I'm telling you, this one is a bonus point. It works. Go for exercise, go to the gym, make sure that your physical health is good. I'm telling you, it does wonders in the bedroom for both men and women. But for women particularly, because for men, a number of times they always want it. But for women, we are the one that sometimes the man has to do a lot of work to help us to get, excited and be in the mood. But one of the other ways to be in the mood, I'm telling you, go and do exercise, go to the gym, lift some weights, do some squats, eat for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's because you feel good about yourself and then it just makes you want to, jump on your husband or your partner. But I tell you, it really helps, particularly for women that have low sex drive. It actually really helps. Yeah, there are some women who have who have, if you make research, you realize that there are some women who get to orgasm just by doing certain extreme exercise. That's to tell you that exercise does activate oxytocin in your body. And it really does. Your blood is pumping better. You know, I don't know. I just know that it works. And I'm telling you from experience, it does work, right? But that's something that, again, I didn't know. I found out. Another thing that I thought also about intimacy that made me really scared about it was I always thought that intimacy was something you knew or you did not know. It's either you are good at it or you are not good at it. So in my very first year of marriage, I was terrible at, well, first few months of marriage, I was really terrible at it. And at a point, I was really scared that, oh, wow, I'm never going to enjoy this thing and all of that. But I come to realize that it's actually a wrong narrative that has been pushed by media, by a lot of things that we consume. Sex is actually something that you learn. You get better at it. The more you and your couple, your partner. Women was not talking the other day that comparing our sex life first year, second year of marriage, even till now, it gets better. It gets better as long as you're both, still committed to each other. The other part of your life is in place. You guys, it doesn't have to be 100% in place, but you guys are still together. You still like each other. You still go on dates. You still, there are number of things that, you guys are still in connection. It gets better and I know they tell you a narrative on social media that, oh, somebody even said, do married people still kiss? I'm like, somebody's saying that, oh, I'm 5 years married. We just get to the business and go. And I'm like, what kind of marriage are you guys in? And if that's your marriage, 5 years is too early for you guys to be doing that. It's wrong. So it's either you guys need to find out what exactly is taking your mind away from it. Are you happy in the marriage? Is there something else going on? But my husband goes to work, comes back. It's a ritual in our home that we have built over the years. The first thing you do, you hug your wife, you kiss each other. You feel that love. You play together. That's another thing. No. This will be in the next video, right? In the next video, we'll talk about the best foreplay in your marriage. Yeah, the best foreplay in marriage. Yeah, for men and for women. So look out for the next video. But what I'm saying here is that it gets better. Sex is not something you're just good at or you're not. Sex is actually something you get better at, right? I thought I was good, after my first few months of awkwardness when it comes to intimacy. I thought I was great. But now I realized that I was learning work then. Yeah, because you get better, you understand each other better. You know what makes, I know, and that's the point. You will know. You will know when, if you move certain way, they will lose control. You know, because you've come to realize in the first year of marriage, I didn't really know that. I just said that, oh, there's certain things that are exciting. If I'm tired, right, maybe I'm done. I'm done and I want him to be done. I know what to do, right? Because we have come to know our bodies. We have come to know each other. And that's what intimacy is supposed to be in your marriage, because you're supposed to grow together. You're supposed to learn, understand how each other bodies works. And then the more you understand your bodies, the better you get at intimacy. So it doesn't get bad after a few years. No, it's not honeymoon years. There's nothing like honeymoon years. Every year can be a honeymoon year for you. But we'll talk about that in the next video, right? So yeah, make sure that you come back for the next video. But yeah, I think these are it. I think the last thing I'm just going to add is that one of the things that I came to learn about sex is, particularly if for any reason you got entangled when it comes to pornography or masturbation or I don't know, when you get entangled in porn particularly, is it does have an adverse effect on your sex life in marriage. It does. I know that we live in a world where sex is everywhere. It's almost like somebody was saying in the comments in the last video that this used to be she said something about odd girls knows this now because I'm already doing it. I'm like, that's not true. There are people. And I told him that's a lie. That's a wrong narrative. I know that the voices of those who are, some of them is even lies. But anyways, I know the voices of those who are already sexually active is like it is louder. And it's like there are no women, there are no girls or women or ladies that are keeping themselves. And that's a big fat lie. But we live in a generation that, you don't even need to go far. On your phone, on social media, you're not even looking for it. It's there. I was going on Facebook Marketplace to look for a drawer, and the next thing I saw was an advert for something about intimacy, videos and all of that. It pops up everywhere. But I'm sure that you've heard it before, but I'm just going to remind you, and I know this very, very well. Pornography it twists your mindset about sex. It can make sex miserable for you in your marriage. No matter how great, particularly if you're already single, you're already using toys, you're already pleasuring yourself, you are already using self-pleasure as a mechanism to make yourself, excited or to give yourself pleasure. In marriage, sex will be difficult for you. And I'm not even capping. It takes the grace of God, because let me tell you something. The person you're marrying is a human being, right? It cannot deal with the machine that if you have used to that already, right? There are certain things that you're supposed to, the aim of sex, of intimacy, is for you to learn each other, for you to get better, for you to understand and grow together in that regard. But the moment you start to allow external forces like pornography and, self-pleasure into yourself as a single or even as a married person, it's hard because your husband cannot compete with that. You're watching things that have been acted, your mind starts to get, so me and my husband were talking about it the other night. There are certain people that they will finish having intimacy with their partner and they will still go to the bedroom or to the bathroom to use toys or to self-pleasure. And that's one of the demonic attacks. And I'm telling you, it is not normal. I know you think, oh, it's not. That is the devil. That is demonic attack. And is after your marriage bed. Very soon, the day that you are not having it, it doesn't even move you anymore because you self-pleasure, and that one even works better without you having to even go through the work of getting in the mood. It is easier, right? So before you know what is happening, you can go for months without having it, and it doesn't even move you. It doesn't move you because you're okay. You're satisfying yourself. And I'm talking both men and women. Pornography, it destroys and it distorts your mindset and your mind view and even, your ability to enjoy intimacy with your partner. There are certain people that if their partner does not dress certain way, they don't enjoy. When I was listening to one podcast, the guy asked, her husband asked her to be barking like a dog. That is the only way he can enjoy it. Can you see what? And you think this is normal. You think it's just movies. No, it is. You are opening access to the enemy. You are opening access to demons. And once they take over your sex life, it is finished. It's not finished because Christ has finished it. And in case you are there, I'm telling you, the Lord that delivered me from the shackles of porn, the Lord that delivered me pre-marriage is still there. But you have to, it's not just about praying about it. It's also about putting disciplines, putting measures and barriers and, things in place to make sure that you don't fall back into that. I pray God, I think this is I've done a video on pornography, and all of that. You can look for it in my other videos. I think I'll do another one, but I just want you to know that one other thing that I didn't know when I've shared it, that people got to know about porn early in their life. I didn't know until I was already in the university. I was already in my 300 level when I got to know that there was something like free access to pornography online. I didn't even know that. So imagine, well, it takes the help of God for you to be able to break from that shackles. But when you do, it doesn't leave. It will still take discipline. And sometimes you will fall. It happens. But you have to also go back. Don't stay there. Because you are setting yourself, if you are enjoying it and you are continuing it, you are setting up yourself for a failed sex life in marriage. I'm telling you, because if you are used to watching, because the thing about pornography is sometimes it starts with, oh, you are enjoying soft porn, right? I know because I was there, right? You're enjoying that. Before you know what's happening, you want to watch, you want to start to watch other narrative. Okay, boss and the employee. Oh, the father and the stepdaughter. Oh, before you know what is happening, the devil has been having some things. You watch it, will not even move you again. You want to watch something worse. Before you know, you start to watch one that they are beating themselves. And before you know what is happening, you cannot even have pleasure with normal intimacy. Now, I'm just telling you, if you're single, you're watching this, or you're married, because married people too, they do it. It's wrong. That is not God's idea for intimacy in your marriage. And that's just going to make your marriage life. Anyways, that's all I'm going to have in this video. So these are some of the other things that I got to realize about sex in marriage. So let me know, is there anything here that you can relate with, or if there's any other thing. Somebody talked about sex in the car in the last video, and I understand, she was saying about how, they talk about sex in the car, but it's not always that easy, this and this. I feel like, first of all, the type of car that you are using matters. So you can't be using, Picanto. There is no comfort in it. So if you have like an SUV and everything, you go to a remote place, it will be nice, right? Because there was another person in that same comment section that said, no, he and his wife has tried, car sex, and it was great for them, right? So it depends, again, on your stamina, because it's not on the bed. It will require some kind of discomfort that you have to enjoy, right? So it's the same thing like sex on a chair, right? So yeah, so I think for that one is subjective, right? Yeah, that's what I think. But anyways, I don't know if there's any other thing I've forgotten, but next week we'll be talking about the best foreplay in your marriage for men and for women. The part one will be for women. It will be for men for their women, and the next one will be for women for their men, something like that. Yeah. But anyways, I'm going to be launching my book, Guide for Newlyweds. Sex. It will be a sex guide. I don't know the name yet, the title yet, but it will be a sex guide for newlyweds. I hope that you guys will buy the book. It's really helpful, particularly if you're Christians, you're inexperienced, or you're a virgin, your husband is, or you've been abstaining. It will really, really help you guys. I'll also be leaving a link for the masterclass. If you're interested, you can register and we'll talk about it, okay? That is all for now. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one, okay? Remember to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment, okay? I'll talk to you guys later. Until then, my name is still Victoria Ayadele Fash, and I'll see you guys in the next one, okay? Bye. Bye, guys.